think when it comes to entrepreneurship, in addition to all the things that you mentioned that we now have, one important thing that you did not mention is that now we have role models, right? That is the big change that happened in the last, let's say 10, 15 years. See, historically in India there was no safety net, and failure was not tolerated, which meant that people were not conducive to taking risk. Now we have examples where people have failed once, twice, and then succeeded the next time. Right? Anybody today who is reasonably talented has an opportunity to get a job. So people can actually take risk. You do something, if it fails, you can always go back and get a job. And being a failed entrepreneur is beginning to be celebrated in India the way it is celebrated in Silicon Valley. People wear their failures as a badge of honor in Silicon Valley, right? That's beginning to happen here, not to that extent, but little by little. And every failed experiment also teaches you something. And given that organizations themselves are becoming entrepreneurial, that is beginning to be accepted. That is the big change that's happening. See, most of the entrepreneurs, you take Shantanu, you take Sanjeev Vikchandani, you take Deep Kalra, Make My Trip, all these guys, Just Dial, Money, right? All these guys started their companies in the early 90s after the liberalization. So now is when you actually have examples of first generation entrepreneurs, self-made entrepreneurs, and several of them who are like you. Right? These are not the sons of Tatas, these are not the sons of Birlas, right? They are first generation. So these role models are there. Right? And you see that these are guys like you. All of these guys, what's common to them? They went to IIM Ahmedabad, or they went to IIM Bangalore, they went to one of the IIMs. So now everywhere more and more people are getting into it. I think definitely Bangalore has the most thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem, but it's also there now in Bombay, it's there in Delhi, right? Chennai, it'll probably come. People in Chennai are generally a little bit more conservative than in these other places, but surely we are going in that direction. So I'm actually pretty excited by that.